Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. It's been a while.
It's been 84 years.
Hey, not that long, but it has been a while. I apologise. I apologise. So you join me here at the top of the Frank, the very, very top of this mad build that we did in episode 1. And the more time I spend up here, the more things I'm noticing that can be tweaked. So let's get straight down, because I'll be here all day if I keep looking around for things to change and adjust. But we have done a few things between episodes. I finally got the storage up and running, as you can see. I've got the dimensional depots above, so I'll just... So if you remember the last episode, the belts here were just stationary, just because obviously the items weren't actually going anywhere. So now we've got the storage up here. In fact, I'll just fly. I've also added a fly mod, which I didn't actually use for this build, but oh, sweet Mary, I wish I did. Because it would have saved me so much time. Like, if you could see behind the scenes when I was building this, there was zip lines going up here, everywhere. Honestly, like, to get, like, I'd fall off and then it'd be like, take me 10 minutes to get back to the roof. And then between episodes, I've installed a fly mod, and then I've actually kind of started using that halfway through the coal power plant, which I think's okay for building. Obviously, we'll get the jetpack eventually, and then obviously I'll get rid of the fly mod. I'm strictly only using it for building, just to make my life easier and to get these videos out a bit quicker. He says over 2 months later. It's probably 3 months now. Oh man, I hate myself. But anyway, we've got the storage up here. So if we just pop in here, I'll just show you what's going on. Nothing too spectacular, just a bit of spaghetti.
Nice.
So all the belts are coming up. I did have to bring this one out this way just because it wouldn't fit in, and then we're merging them all together, and then using smart splitters just to split them back up into the correct storage, just because it was getting a bit tight for room. And obviously with these I can set the overflow, so once the storage is full you can see it's overflowing, and then hopefully this system should never back up now. So all the overflow is coming along here, which I still need to make look a bit nicer. And then it's being fed down. I'm going to put like a little viewing window here underneath, and then into our awesome sink. And we've got one coupon. It's only just been running for like the past 10 minutes because of the power situation. But apart from that, it's just been a load of sign placing for the window, for the lights, placing more windows, stuff like that. Just generally kind of, I'd say it's about 95% of the way there. I don't think it will ever be fully finished, just because of the scale of the building. And like I say, I keep noticing little bits that are wrong. Not wrong, but it's like my OCD getting the better of me. As you can see, we've got all the items flowing up now, looking really good. Ignore the stray cables. So yeah, we'll just go and head over to the... Yes, ignore this. So if we just come out of our concrete facility into our hub area, I'll just catch you up on what we've unlocked between episodes, because I have forgotten myself. So we've got a load of recipes kind of we've got a load of alternate recipes going. Just been kind of scanning hard drives in the background. Slowly we've been working through the different tech trees. Nothing too crazy, nothing you haven't seen before in other videos. This is not really what this series is about, I'm going to be honest, but I thought I'd just show you, just in case anyone's interested. I see, I haven't even I haven't even researched Paleberry. I'll definitely be unlocking the Explorer pretty soon. And then, yeah, we just need to get kind of explosives and all that, so we can start unlocking some nodes, but not too important at the moment. And then in the hub, we've gone ahead and unlocked tier 5 and 6 now. I've unlocked the trains because we're definitely beginning. He says. That's unlocked, yeah. I've unlocked trains because that's definitely something we're going to be working on very soon. But again, not really done anything else in there. I've finished off tiers 3 and 4. I was just rushing the blueprints because that has been such a big help. I didn't do any blueprints for this build just because it wasn't really any part that was the same, if that makes sense. I did develop blueprints for the windows in the end, so I've got like a couple of different sizes for the windows. But apart from that, everything's kind of been hand placed and hand placed with love. Alright, let's go over to the power plant, I think. Enough dilly-dallying. And here it is, I'll get off. And look at this. Look at this. Look at that. What an absolute beast of a building. You'll have to excuse the shoddy cable work. It's a work in progress, I promise. And this is coming in episode 3. This is our steel factory. What's a little spoiler there? So I suppose we'll start at the coal. So we've got 2 Mark II miners, both overclocked at 300%. Sorry, 250%, producing 150 coal each, which is a combined 300. And then we've got 8 generators on each side, using around 17 coal a minute. I think that's maths. Is me mathing? Yeah, sort of. So yeah, when I was building this, I built the 2 semicircles. I was going to build like one big kind of full semicircle, but it would have clashed with the rock over here. So I had to do a bit of a 90-degree angle in the middle, but it's made like a nice little entranceway, and then kind of built the other semicircle off that at a slightly different angle, and they happen to line up absolutely perfect. Like, I promise you when I say this, there is zero planning goes into any of these builds. I'm not gonna lie. I'll have a rough idea of what I want to do, like a very rough idea, and then I just kind of build it as I go. Like, I built the bottom bit and I kind of half built the walls at the back. Then it got to doing the roof and I was really stumped. I know I wanted to do a bit of a curved roof. And then I came across a video on YouTube of a house build, like a house showcase from an architect called Kendrick Kellogg, who I believe actually worked under Frank Lloyd Wright at some point. I haven't done too much research, so please correct me if I'm wrong, but obviously the Frank from episode 1 was like inspired. I say it was inspired, it wasn't. I kind of built it and then everyone was like, oh, it's like the Frank build, it's like a Frank Lloyd Wright building, and the waterfall, I think it's called. And then I saw this building from Kendrick and I was like, oh, that roof looks really cool. So I've tried to kind of replicate this. And would I recommend doing this at home? Absolutely not, because not only did I decide to do like a slight curve on the roof, I thought, oh, let's make it a slight angle as well, which well, no, it took so long. So long. So yeah, there's been a lot of design changes in this and variations, but I think the finished product is delicious. Still not 100%, you know. So overall, still got. I put a truck station over there just in case we did import coal at any point in the future, but I doubt it. I doubt it because the logistics is only really set up for kind of these two miners. Obviously, we can overclock the the generator itself, but we'll probably be at kind of turbo fuel and that by that point anyway. But you know, the options there if we do need. Coming into the main entrance area, or whatever you want to call this, we've just got like nice little detailed lights in the windows. I didn't want to do anything too extravagant, but I felt like it did need a bit of texture on the edge of these windows, so I thought I'd put a light in as well. I've just done that with all the windows, and I just love how these have lined up so perfectly. Like I say, there was zero planning, and it was just luck. So coming up the left side, I mean, they are both identical, sort of. On first glance, they're both identical. I really love this stairway coming up here. Just gives us a bit of an aerial view of the whole area. We can just access each generator for whatever you'd need. This just goes all the way along here to the end. Now I did connect up, sorry, I did put these power storage in just because I thought it looked cool. And then I sunk them in a little bit just to kind of, you know, make them a bit more unique. I haven't actually connected them up yet. I just wanted a bit more detail in that space, but then not sure whether it might be better left open. You'll have to let me know what you think of that one. This beautifully wrapping around the rock here. I think every time I do a build, I'm trying to like incorporate the landscape and work with the landscape as much as possible. And I saw this rock, and I'm going to be honest, this rock inspired the whole build. So shout out to this rock. Round of applause. Because yeah, I saw this rock, I was like, I want to build a power plant around that. And then obviously I started building this semicircle, circle, and then I realised I couldn't build the whole circle, so I had to kind of shoot off in a different direction over there. Out the back, not a lot to see, just a bit more spaghetti. It's actually not too bad. I lie. Just using the new curve method or the curve mode on the belts, just to get a nice sweeping curve. I've just been placing the splitter kind of where I want, and then just curving, and then just kind of load balancing it. I think power's the only thing I've really load balanced, or just because you kind of need to with power. So obviously, if you don't load balance it, the first one has to fill up before obviously the second one gets anything, so on and so on. So I think it's always better to load balance when dealing with power. And we'll ignore that clipping and come back this way. Oh, and the power line makes a cute little smiley face, which it's like Sid the Sloth. Tell me a seed, please. And then coming over to the other side, again, it's exactly the same. Not a lot to show in terms of the actual power plant. You know, it is just a power plant at the end of the day. But hopefully kind of walking around and you get to see the build for all its glory. Got these nice little viewing angles everywhere again. Not super happy about the door, not gonna lie, but couldn't really figure out a way to do it. / rushing it. Again, just kind of conforming to the terrain as much as possible. It is clipping a little bit into this rock, but obviously this is the side I built last, so I definitely wasn't going to build the whole thing again just because of this rock, so I kind of lent into it a bit. Hopefully it's acceptable for you lovely people. If not, you know where the Alt F4 button is. And then, yeah, just a little steps down, truck station to be completed. And then another little spoiler up here. And that is the limestone factory. Concrete factory, I should say. Alright, guys, I think we're pretty much wrapping up this episode here. I think we've just got one more thing to do, which is to actually show you what we're producing in terms of power. So, and I've just realised as well, obviously, we're limited to Mark 3 belts at the moment, so we've only got 270 coal coming in at the moment, which is why these are overclocked to 114% at the moment. But as you can see, we've got a nice steady supply, producing just over 1200 megawatts, and then once we get the full 300 coal coming in, we can kind of bump these up to get like use an extra kind of 1 coal a minute, which I'm not sure what will give us in terms of power, but we've got a little bit of wiggle room. But this should see us through for the future, and definitely into the next couple of episodes. So speaking of future episodes, if you do want to see that, make sure you hit the subscribe button. The next episode, we're going to be finishing off our concrete, steel, and we've got a little iron factory over there. We're going to get more connected up to using trucks, so we're going to have kind of truck zipping about, which I think will look really cool. But that will have to wait for the next episode. So guys, with all that out of the way, I really hope you've enjoyed the video. I'm really hoping to get back into more of a routine with the uploads now. I really have missed making videos and producing content for you guys. Yeah, I do really love doing it. And if you have enjoyed the video, it'd mean the world to me if you did show your support down below, hitting that like button, subscribing, getting the algorithm doing its thing. You know, a lot of hours go into these videos and the editing, and so just taking a couple seconds to just show your support would mean the absolute world to me. And if you do want to help the channel even further, I do have a Patreon, and the link is down below with all the details on that. I really can't wait to see you in the next episode. Ginge out.